Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa afdalu salatu wa atamu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa radiyallahu ta'ala ala sadati tabi'een wa ulama al-amilin wa a'immat al-arba'at al-mujtahideen wa muqallidihim ila yawmiddin amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Trying to wait for some of y'all to come on and share the video, share the feed, let the people know that we are here. Alhamdulillah, we are in the 8th day of Shahr Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. 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 The 8th of Ramadan, day number 8, out of only 29 or 30 days, day number 8. It is moving fast. Day number 8. 8. Subhanallah. Day number 8. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hassan Ali, alhamdulillah. Yallah. Alhamdulillah, I apologize for yesterday. I got off of work too late, whereas I couldn't get prepared and get here in time to give the class. So we missed a day. Alhamdulillah. Today's class is entitled Ramadan, the month of the Quran. The month of the Quran. One of the things about the month of Ramadan that I think most of us miss is the fact that Ramadan is all about the Quran. Ramadan is not about eating what you don't eat, what you eat, when you eat. Or no. The month of Ramadan is literally about the Quran. The eating, when we don't eat, when we do eat, when to stop eating, all of that, that's a tool for something. That's a means. It's not the objective. The objective or the goal is a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's revelation. Think about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Shahr Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran, the month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. That's what Allah says in Surah Baqarah. We mentioned this ayat several times. Ayat number 185. The month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. What does that mean? The Quran was revealed in Ramadan. I thought that the Quran was revealed over the course of 23 years from Allah to Angel Jibreel to the heart of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah bless him and grant him peace. Over the course of 23 years, piecemeal. All of those revelations over the course of those 23 years, he only came in Ramadan. It's not what that verse means. And I'll quote Imam Suyuti in his Tafsir al-Jalalain. Tafsir al-Jalalain is the tafsir of the two Jalals, a very short, concise tafsir. Jalaluddin al-Mahali, who wrote a portion of it, really like Al-Fatiha and most of the end, but most of the middle was composed or completed by his student Jalaluddin al-Suyuti. The student is more popular, more famous than the teacher. Sheikh Uthman dan Fodio, Tagamadahu lahu bi rahmatihi ameen. May Allah envelop him in his mercy, ameen. He refers to this text as the Takmila, or the completion. Because, as we said, Jalaluddin al-Mahali, he wrote a portion of it and died, and his his student, Jalaluddin al-Suyuti, picked it up and completed the tafsir. That's why it's called the tafsir of the two Jalals, tafsir al-Jalalain, the tafsir of the two Jalals. Imam Suyuti says with regards to this verse, من اللحو المحفوظ إلى سماء الدنيا في ليلة القدر. That what Allah means is that when He says the month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed, it was revealed from the Lawh al-Mahfuz, the preserved tablet, to the earthly heaven, the heaven or the sky of the dunya, on the night of power. On the night of power, Laylatul Qadr. And as we've said many times since the month began, Allah sent the Quran or dispatched the Quran or released the Quran from the preserved tablet and had it sent to the heavenly or the heaven or the earthly heaven. And the equivalent I give to it is like a staging area. And then from Samat ad-Dunya, the earthly heaven, over the course of 23 years, Angel Jibril revealed portions and revealed it piecemeal to the heart. Excuse me. Alhamdulillah. He revealed it to the heart of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The month of Ramadan is all about revelation. And Wathilah يعني ابن الأسقاء أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أنزلت صحف إبراهيم في أول ليلة من رمضان وأنزلت التوراة لستة مدينة من رمضان والإنجيل لثلاثة عشرة قلت من رمضان. جزاك الله خير. وأنزل الله القرآن ل24 قلت من رمضان. It has been related on the authority of Wathila ibn al-Asqa, who said, the Messenger of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, said, the pages of the Suhuf of Ibrahim were revealed during the first night of Ramadan. The Torah, which is the scripture revealed to Moses, was revealed during the 6th night of Ramadan. The Injil, which is the scripture revealed to Isa, Jesus, was revealed during the 30th night of Ramadan. And Allah revealed the Quran on the 24th night of Ramadan. And this hadith has been related by Imam Ahmed, Sheikh Abdullah Danfodio, may Allah have mercy upon him. He quoted this narration, this hadith, in his tafsir called Diya Ta'wil fi Mana at-Tanzil, and he extracted it from Al-Baydawi's tafsir. And Ibn Kathir mentions this in his tafsir as well. So the month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed, the month of Ramadan is a month of revelation. It's a month of revelation. And if you know about Laylatul Qadr, you know that there's a conflict, because this hadith states explicitly that the Quran was revealed on the 24th night of Ramadan, which would mean that the night of power is on the 24th of Ramadan. But we know that there's difference of opinion, odd nights, and there's over a handful of different positions on when the night of power is. Most of us only know about the more famous positions, that it's on the odd night in the last 10 days, most likely the 27th, or that's the famous popular opinion. Some say any night within the last 10 days of Ramadan. Some scholars are of the position that the night of power is not on the same night every year, that it moves around the month of Ramadan. Some scholars even say that the night of power moves around outside of the month of Ramadan. But as you know, that's a more strange, a more shared opinion. But all of those different positions are out there. So don't trip because this hadith specifies the night that the Quran was revealed on the 24th night of Ramadan, because that really kind of supports the position that the night of power is not the same every night. I mean, every Ramadan. So, alhamdulillah. So the Quran, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ibn Hakam Muhammad, Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. So the month of Ramadan is about the Quran. And as we said, most people usually miss out on this fact. We concentrating on what we're eating, when we're eating, where we're eating, and all of these things. And these things, we're really missing out on the purpose of Ramadan. This is the month in which the Quran was revealed. And so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would recite the whole Quran to Angel Jibril. In fact, Angel Jibril would recite the whole Quran to him, and he would recite it back to Angel Jibril. And we know this from many sound hadith, many of which can be found in Bukhari. For example, this one, I'll mention it here. وَقَالَ مشروق عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن فاطمة عليها السلام أسر إلي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن جبريل كان يعارضني بالقرآن كل سنة وأنه آردني العام مرتين ولا أراه إلا حضر أجلي. It has been, Mashrooq said, coming from on the authority of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, who's narrating on the authority of Fatima, peace be upon her, who said, the Prophet told me secretly. In other words, Fatima is saying her father, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, told her secretly. Jibril used to recite the Quran to me, and I to him once a year. But this year, he recited the whole Quran with me twice. I don't think but that my death is approaching. The Prophet ﷺ took it as a sign that they recited the Quran to each other twice during the last year of his life. He took that as a sign that his death was impending. And in fact, he died, Ramadan is the 9th month, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. He died 6 months later. He died 6 months later. In another hadith, and Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma qala kana nabiyyu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ajwad al-nasi bil khayri wa ajwadu ma يكون في شهر رمضان لأن جبريل كان يلقاه في كل ليلة في شهر رمضان حتى ينسلخ يعرض عليه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم القرآن فإذا لقيه جبريل كان أجود بالخير من الريح مرسلة. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with both of them, narrated the Prophet ﷺ was the most generous person. And he used to become more generous, particularly in the month of Ramadan, because Jibril used to meet him every night of the month of Ramadan till it elapsed. Allah's apostle used to recite the Quran for him. when Jibril met him, he used to become more generous than the fast wind in doing good. So we just mentioned a few of the narrations which show us that during the month of Ramadan, Angel Jibril used to recite the Quran to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to recite the Quran back to him. And so it is a sunnah, it is a prophetic practice to recite the Quran during the month of Ramadan. To recite the entire Quran during the month of Ramadan. And so this is what we should be involved with. Most of those who came before us, they would put down all that they were doing, reading and studying, and focus on the Quran. This is what we should be involved in. Our concentration should be on the Quran. And we should treat the month of Ramadan like a rest stop on a long journey. And this is not just some cute parable that sounds good that you can make a picture out of and use it as a meme on social media. This is in fact the parable that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave to this life. He told Abdullah ibn Umar, he said, "Kun fi dunya ka'anaka garib aw abir sabil." Be in this dunya, be in this life as if you were garib, a stranger. Aw abir sabil, or someone traveling or making their way. Right? So we're supposed to treat this life as if we're traveling. We're going from point A to point B. We're going from the cradle to the grave. We're going back to where we came from. We're going back home. We're going back to Jannah, inshallah. We're going back to paradise. Imagine yourself on a long journey somewhere. You're on a long road trip. I don't care how good your car is. I don't care how nice your airplane is. I don't care what means or what time period you're traveling in. Even if you live in a period before cars and you riding horses and camels and other means of transport. When you're on a long journey, you're going to have to take a rest. You're going to have to pause somewhere. You're going to have to get gas. You're going to have to use the bathroom. You're going to have to get food. You're going to have to do all of these things to ensure that you make it to your destination. The month of Ramadan is that rest stop. The month of Ramadan is that rest stop where you use the bathroom, where you make salat, where you get some food, or even where you may want to take a nap. Maybe there's not enough drivers. You want to take a nap. Literally, what a lot of us are doing during this month of Ramadan is we are going to that gas station with an empty tank. And you know those long stretches of highways, sometimes you see, next rest stop, 1 mile. And then there'll be another sign, or right with that sign, the next rest stop after that, 200 miles. So hey, I need to pull over and get everything I can get because it's going to be a long stretch of road before I get to another rest stop. Can you imagine? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, Scotty. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Marhab. Ramadan Mubarak. Alhamdulillah. Can you imagine someone going to this rest stop on an empty tank? He's not even halfway full complete with his journey. And he pulls up to the gas tank and he put $10 in there. $10 for Ascari, I don't know what the gas is like where you're at, but right now in Pittsburgh, the gas is like $3.19 a gallon. Gas prices are extremely high. But even if the gas prices were low, can you imagine someone putting $10 in the gas tank and you had a long journey and you have another year to drive to the next Ramadan, to the next stop, to the next rest stop? You'll be looking at the one like, what is this, some kind of joke? You didn't see that sign back there? It said 200 miles to the next rest stop. Why are you putting $10 in the gas tank? We don't have no food in the car. Why you didn't get some food from inside? Why you didn't use the bathroom? It's time for Salah and we travel. We need to combine all of these things you take care at the rest stop. Ramadan is that rest stop. And literally a lot of us are treating the month of Ramadan like this. How many people are catching up on a Game of Thrones during the month of Ramadan? How many people are following every sports game during the month of Ramadan and not picking up the Quran? Think about how you're treating the month of Ramadan. How many of us are not praying Taraweeh, where we are at least listening to the Quran? Most of us, we don't take Sahur real serious. You know, maybe the most serious part about the whole thing is the iftar, and then we're ghosts. We're out. We don't pray, no prayers at night. We go home and we do the exact same routine that we did outside of the month of Ramadan. But we say Ramadan Mubarak. In other words, Ramadan has blessings in it, but I'm not going to do what I need to do to get those blessings. And then I'm going to carry out the rest of the year. And when I feel spiritually low, I don't have no himma, no desire. It's not my fault. It's the Muslim Ummah's fault. The Muslims are such a bad state right now. Look at what's going on. I feel so depressed. Man, my iman is so low. And it's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault. It's the same way like with marriage. You find sometimes brothers or sisters, they're disillusioned with marriage. Why? Because they had 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 bad experiences in marriages. And they say, oh, this brother dogged me out. This sister dogged me out. Oh, you can't trust these Muslims no more. I ain't getting married. But when you examine most of the people who have that type of disposition with regards to marriage, and you look at their marriages, their previous marriage, it might have been a secret marriage. They had 10,000 excuses why nobody didn't know about it. Or the dowry wasn't paid or agreed upon. I mean, just the basic things about marriage, they circumvented it. There was no wali, or you just picked your man off the side of the road who you barely even talk to. Listen, I need you to be the wali for the sister right here. I need you to be the wakil. You're living in 2019, so you're not living in reality. So, you don't see the necessity of getting tested for sexually transmitted diseases. You didn't do your research to see what type of people should be around or that he's around, what type of family they come from. You circumvented all of that. And then you went and you married this person who you barely know. And this person became your hell on earth. And then so now you're out of that marriage. And whose fault is it? Not yours. It's the brother or the sister that you were married to. It's the rest of the Muslims who are around you who allowed you to get married. You forget the fact that the wali that you had, you fired him because he told you not to marry the brother anyway. But all the brothers are still foul. And so marriage is something bad now. And so now, the ummah shout out and you feel so low, you're disillusioned with marriage. Why are you disillusioned with marriage? Because your own experience with marriage. But you fail to see the role that you played in your destructive and toxic marriages. And a lot of us are like this with Islam. The month of Ramadan comes and we literally say Ramadan Mubarak. Well, some of us, we say that's bid'ah, that's innovation. Okay, whatever. But even if you say that, that's an innovation, right? You can't deny that the month of Ramadan has barakah in it, right? It's a month of barakah. Even though you may say it's an innovation to say Ramadan Mubarak, you can't deny that Ramadan is a Mubarak month, right? And the month of Ramadan does come, and what do? We catch up on all of the TV, like we said. Game of Thrones. We're up on every game. But when was the last time you read the Quran? Are you going to read the whole Quran this month? You say you follow the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He read the Quran the whole month of Ramadan. He had it read to him and he read it to Angel Jibril. You say you're on the sunnah. That's the sunnah. Are you going to do it? That's the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Shahr Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. The month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. This month is about the Quran. Are you about the Quran? And we're going to do a separate discourse on Taraweeh. But Taraweeh is extremely important. A prayer that can only be done in Ramadan. Are you going to do it, or are you going to rush home to catch the next episode? You can catch the next episode anytime. And I'm not advocating watching TV, but I'm just saying, if that's your thing, you can literally catch it anytime. You have no excuse. You're not restricted to cable, Comcast, DirecTV, or whatever cable company is in your area, a Dish Network. You're not restricted to that. You got Netflix, Hulu, you got Fire Stick, you got in the dozens of YouTube. You got dozens of options to catch up on whatever you want to catch up on after Ramadan. You have no excuse to be so connected to that stuff during the month of Ramadan in putting down the Quran. There's no excuse for it. It's not like back in the day before VCRs and CD players and DVRs where, even when those things came out, you could record it and watch it later. You literally don't have to do it now. You can stream it from anywhere. You don't have to watch it during the month of Ramadan. You feel like you're missing something. Amazon Prime, exactly, right? You feel like you're missing something. You don't have to miss it. But this Ramadan only comes around once a year. The Barakat connected with Ramadan only comes once a year. And you're not guaranteed to catch it next year. You don't know when your ajr will be. You don't know when your expiration date will be. You may not make it next year. You may be finished. We may be praying 4 takbirs over you before next Ramadan. You may not make it out of this Ramadan. None of us are promised. What juz are you in right now? We're in the 8th day of Ramadan. What juz have you read? I don't know how to read Arabic. Okay. When are you going to learn how to read Arabic? Have you been preparing? Well, I didn't know it was this serious. Okay, start preparing. What's the hold up? Start preparing right now. Exactly, the opportunity to get all your sins forgiven for 83 years. The night of power. Do you believe instead of looking for the night of power, some of us are going to be watching the Game of Thrones? Some of us are going to be watching baseball and football. Literally, subhanAllah, can you imagine that? That's crazy. But some people, we just in a complete state of heedlessness. Like, I just give you an example. I just think of one example. A while ago, I used to work for a company that installed DirecTV, right? I was one of those, I was the cable guy, right? And when you work for these companies, many companies, right? If you refer people, you get a discount. And so there was an ongoing, as an employee, I had an ongoing discount. If you were to get your DirecTV through me, I get $50 and you get $50. Do you know that everybody I was around, I would tell people, big DirecTV van, I'm driving everywhere. Everybody knows I work for DirecTV. And I would tell people, listen, if you're getting cable or DirecTV, get it through me, right? Just, you get whatever package, whatever you want, but just do it through me. That way I get $50 and you get $50. That's free money. If you getting the cable, you getting it anyway. Just do it through me, right? Do you know brothers would get it and not go through me? And I'd be like, hello, wait, you just messed up on $50 and you messed me up $50. Oh, subhanAllah, I forgot, Aki. Like, subhanAllah, I've been telling y'all for this for longest. And those of you who know me, I was driving that van like it was my personal vehicle. I went to the Eid in a DirecTV van, right? Big white DirecTV van. Everybody knows that. But people, blind. I remember on one situation, a brother, he went and got Dish Network. He didn't even get DirecTV. He got Dish Network. I'm like, are y'all trying to... y'all don't want the $50? I mean, does it offend you? You can't run that game that, you don't watch TV. You're more pious than the rest of us. You don't watch TV because you got the TV. What's up? People just completely heedless. And you find that, and by the way, I try to make it my business to keep people like that out of my circle like that now, because that's a circle that, that breeds, financial poverty and also spiritual poverty. Because there's some people that they don't see, they can't see a discount, even if it was right in front of their face. They don't see free money. And there's a lot of people like that. Some people, they can see a discount or some free money behind their head, behind their backs. Other people, they see, you can present them the free money in their face and put it under their noses and they won't see it. They won't get it. They'd rather go someplace else and work harder to get what they could have got for free. And a lot of us are the same way when it comes to spiritual benefits. We're the exact same way. We won't even alter our sleep schedule. And some of us have the ability to alter our work schedule. We won't alter our sleep or our work so that we can get the benefit of this month. And it's only for 30 days. Out of 360 days, 65 days, or 56 days, or whatever it is, a year, you won't alter your sleep and alter your normal pattern in order to get the benefit of this month of Ramadan. I was thinking that maybe people are like this because in their mind, they can't see the benefit. It's not tangible to them. For me, it's tangible. I'm not going to go there, but maybe they don't see the barakah in it. They don't see the tangible blessing. Maybe like if you connected a dollar amount to the barakah that you can get for reading the Quran and listening to the Quran and praying at night and having your sins forgiven, if you can attach a dollar value to it, maybe they will see it. I don't know. Because I just gave you a real simple example of how you attach a dollar value for something. You tell them, listen, this thing that you're going to do anyway, do it this way. You get some free money, and some people still won't do it. They just completely heedless. And so it's like this with the month of Ramadan. So we need to be reminded that this month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran. It's the month in which not only that the Quran was revealed, it is the month in which we need to be rehearsing the Quran and have the Quran rehearsed to us. This is the month when sins are forgiven. This is an extremely important month. And this is the month in which we need to get out of our habits. We need to break our routine. This is the month in which routines are broken. And if you can break the routine of eating throughout the day, just think about it. You can go for 16, 17, 18 hours and not eat or drink, not even a sip. Even if too much spit wells up in your mouth, you spit it out. You can do that. You can do that for 30 days. If you can do that, You can break any habit. This is the month of discipline, the Quran, in which the Quran was revealed. Well, a lot of us don't have the discipline that it takes. We just at the bare minimum. And we have to be people above the bare minimum. If you want to get that reward, you have to be above the bare minimum. The bare minimum it's just a bare minimum. And then the bare minimum is not good because you can't afford to make one mistake. Can you just imagine praying only the Fard prayers your whole life? You're not praying the Sunnah before Fajr. You're not making the 2 rakats when you enter the masjid. You're not making the 2 rakats before or after any salat. Just 5 prayers. A'udhu billah. Woo! Nobody can blame you and say you're doing something wrong or whatever, but you better recite perfectly. You better not forget 1 rakat. You better not mess up. You better be perfect. And none of us are perfect. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ taught us that the deficiencies in our Fard prayer are made up with the nawafil, the extra prayers. It's the first thing we're judged on. And all of our deficiencies, our weaknesses within our obligatory prayers, those things are made up or compensated for by our extra supererogatory prayers. You just imagine, well, I ain't praying no supererogatory prayer. Well, you's a bold dude. The fast of Ramadan, we're treating it like we don't need this. We need this. You know how many people, we're on social media, right? You know how many posts I've seen ooh, I need this Ramadan. I'm talking to you right now. All of you who posted posts, I need this Ramadan. Or I need it bad. Or something similar. You posted that, right? Ramadan's here. How are you treating it? Are you praying Taraweeh? Are you reading the Quran? If you were one of those people who saying, I need this Ramadan, people posted pictures the man in the desert, he's finally making it, he's crawling there, he's barely making it. People posting all of these things. If this was you, okay, now we're here in Ramadan. Are you reading the Quran? Are you praying Taraweeh? Are you doing these things? If not, you're going to need another Ramadan as soon as we get into Shawwal. You're not going to fill up your gas tank. You're not going to make sure that your vessel, your vehicle, is equipped to make it to the next Ramadan. You're going to conk out. You're going to be on the side of the highway. Yes. Some of us, maybe we got enough gas. Maybe we got some gas in the trunk. We got a container in the trunk. So we run out of gas, we use a container, put it in, but you're going to be in bad shape. Next Ramadan's not going to get here, and you're going to be one of those people, again, talking about, oh, I need a Ramadan. The reason why you need a Ramadan so bad is because you didn't take advantage of the last one. Ramadan is not just a month where you physically make it to the month and then you say, I'm here. Alhamdulillah, Barakat, take me away. And I don't need to put in any work. It's just, yes. Like when I was younger, you had the commercial, that bubble bath commercial, Calgon, take me away, right? Now it's Ramadan, take me away. And the only thing I have to do is sit here and lay here. And it's going to be all good. No, life don't work like that. Life does not work like that. You have to put in work. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ya Khalil. You have to put in work. Even the music that inshallah most of us don't listen to. Right? The commercial music I'm talking about. I'm not talking about nasheeds and all that stuff. Calm down, right? Even the commercial music that most of us don't or shouldn't listen to, right? The artists that you respect are the ones that put in the work. They put in work. Even if you think they can't rap or they can't sing, they are still working hard. You may not like it, you may not respect it, that may not be your thing, or even if that is your thing and you just a hater, that you don't like them, you like the other one, that one put in work. Even if the work was sacrificing, giving their soul to the devil, literally doing a sacrifice to the shaitan. They sacrifice something. And that's something a lot of Muslims don't get. You say, oh, he's part of the Illuminati. Oh, he's part of this secret society. Okay, you just can't just, hey, yo, can I be down? I want to be down with your secret society thing so I can get broke or so I can get some money, so I can get popular, so I can get famous. Can I be down with y'all? They don't just accept anybody. You got to give up something. And if you're a so-called Muslim, you got to do something to prove your kufr, that you're really not Muslim. You got to do something that's so foul and so disgusting that when you do it, it's clear to the shayateen that you're not really Muslim no more. So even on evil, people that prosper with evil, they got to put in work. They got to sacrifice something. So you think to be part of evil, they get, to take the shortcut, the fame and riches and all of these things, these people have to sacrifice and put in work. To practice magic, which is haram and is kufr, is disbelief. Those people who are involved with that and communicate with jinns, they have to sacrifice something. They have to put in work. You think you, on the good side, the righteous side, the pious side, is going to get just as much or better of good and not do anything. Just be in Ramadan. That's what you think, just sit here in Ramadan? You have to put in work. And that work means having less sleep or breaking up your sleep. Maybe your work schedule or your school schedule is different or it's funny, and maybe you have to go to work or school early in the morning, and so you have to do things. Maybe you have to sleep more in the afternoon, and your body has to get used to that. You have to think about these things, and you have to make efforts to change your schedule so that you can put in the work. All of the people in Islam that you respect, from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba, and all of the shuyukh and the awliya and all of these mujahideen and all of these people, the mujaddideen, all of these people that you respect and quote from the first generation on up until now, do you think that they got to where they were at just by saying, I made it Ramadan, Barakah, take me away? No, they put in work. Sleep was something that was a luxury. Usually sleep would overtake them. They wouldn't overtake sleep. Sleep would overtake them. You read about these Sahaba, when you read about the prayer and especially when you read about the fiqh regarding the crossing of the hands or having them by the side, you're going to start coming across narrations about Sahaba, leaning on things to stay awake and, crossing their hands as a means of rest. You're going to come across all of these things. What do you think they're talking about? They are putting in work. They're not like us, Ramadan, take me away. They're putting in work. They are putting in work. They are literally almost falling asleep in prayer and fighting not to fall asleep in prayer. And this was their state outside of Ramadan. What do you think their state was inside of Ramadan? The same people who said that they prepare for Ramadan, they prepare for the next Ramadan when the previous Ramadan was going out. This is something that they prepared to do. Those of us who are in the workforce, if your job tells you that, hey, we're paying double time or time and a half or extra bonus or this and that and that, but you got to put in all these extra hours. If they tell you that about your job, you're going to be like, ooh. Your mind is going to think, oh, okay, I'm behind on all of these bills, or I always wanted to purchase this or that, and they offering all of these extra hours for this amount of time. In your mind, you automatically start changing your schedule. Maybe if you got children, you got a babysitter, you're trying to work that out to figure out how you can get those extra hours. It should be even more so with the month of Ramadan. And first and foremost is reading that Quran. And praying Taraweeh is part of that. But most of us, we're rushing back home. Why? Either to go to sleep for work, or to go to sleep for school, or to catch up on some TV, or to do something else, and really we're cheating ourselves. And then we wonder why we're literally in a state of spiritual depression when Ramadan leaves. It's like the person who gets his check, and then as soon as he gets his paycheck, the commercial comes on. iPhone 20 at stores near you, $2,000. You could purchase it. Wow, subhanallah, the iPhone 10. Wow, it can read your mind and post your thoughts on Facebook. Subhanallah. You run out, you get the iPhone 20. And then, after you get the iPhone 20, the mailman comes and it's a notice. In 10 days, your electricity, but they tired of telling you this, so they just put it all in one bill. In 10 days, your gas, electric, water, cable, and that phone, and your phone bill that you just got a new iPhone 20 for, all that's getting shut off in 10 days unless you pay this $3,000 that you owe us. Oh, man, what am I going to do? Oh, man, these kuffar, man, they be charging us up, man. They make you even pay for the water that you drink and the air that you breathe. All of these bills, man. You just bought the iPhone 20, man. We're the exact same way with our spirituality. Ramadan comes, we don't take no advantage of it at all. We don't read no Quran, we don't pray no Taraweeh, we don't pray in congregation, we don't feed the fasting person, we're not generous with our money, we don't do any of these things that are known to have immense benefit for us in the month of Ramadan. We don't do any of these things at all, zero. And then outside of Ramadan, oh man, my iman is so low, man. Man, I just wish it was like back in the days, like when the Sahaba, man. Oh man, the Muslim Ummah is shot out, man. Look, Muslims being killed in China in concentration camps and nobody doing nothing. You know, the Israeli soldiers is using Muslim children as target practice in Palestine. Muslims right there ain't doing nothing. Oh man, the Saudi prince, he co-signs what the Chinese are doing to the Muslims. Oh my God, you know, oh man, I give up. This is the way we are. But during the month of Ramadan, we know we Game of Thrones, the Eagles, the Steelers, the Pirates, the this, the that, the Avengers, the Endgame, the this, the that, all during the month of Ramadan, no Quran. And then we wonder, and just like that person that's married or was married, they blame everyone else for the failure of their marriages. They don't take responsibility for themselves. We're the same way with the deen. Allah give us this Mubarak month of Ramadan. And we don't take advantage of it. We don't read the Quran. We don't get in touch with our revelation. We don't even know the basics about fasting. When to break your fast. What breaks your fast. These basic things that, you know, most communities have classes before Ramadan about these things, right? We don't know. We don't know how to benefit from the month, and we don't care to learn, and so we don't benefit from the month. And even if we do know, we don't practice it. And then outside of Ramadan or through the year, and we're going through this spiritual crisis of the heart, and we're wondering, about our own state in Islam, and everything else looks good to us except Islam, and we wonder why we're like this, and we say, you know what? It's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault. It's the brothers at the masjid because they do this and that. It's the sisters because they have the bad vibe, and it's the Muslim governments because they be doing this and that, and it's everybody else, but it's not your fault. You ever wondered yourself how you may be going through these crises with yourself and it's everyone else's fault and you feel like giving up? But there's other Muslims who are witnessing the same things you're witnessing, but they still have a high determination, a high himmah, a high drive, a high motivation. What motivates them? You're looking at the same thing. Why are they motivated and you're not? Because that Muslim is a super empowered Muslim. He's motivated by things that you can't see. Everything about you is what you can see, smell, taste, or touch, that you can detect with your physical senses and limbs. So, you're not motivated by nothing. They're motivated by something greater than that. Like when the Muslims in the Sudan, under the leadership of Muhammad Ahmed al-Mahdi, were fighting against the British colonizers. I forgot their general's name. He wrote back to the British Home Office because they were doing things that was what we would do. If we were just to make a movie about the Karamat and things that took place then, I guarantee you it'll be more engaging and more better and even more spiritual beneficial than the Avengers and the Game of Thrones and all of these things that we like watching. Because you're talking about Muslims who, I forgot the name of the gun, the Gatling gun, right? That gun, right? You had Muslims who with little pea shooters, one shot guns, or even spears and swords was running into guns like that and bullets like that being fired. You seen them old movies, and the bullets just come, right? And Muslims is running into those bullets and killing 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 people before they finally drop. SubhanAllah. And the general wrote back to the British Home Office and said, I don't know how we're going to deal with these Muslims. How are we going to fight a people that when they look down the barrel of our guns, they see the leaves of paradise? This is what he said to them. He said, when they look down the barrel of our guns, they're not scared. They see paradise. And this is not 1,400 years ago. This is more like 150 years ago. Part of what made them what they were was the month of Ramadan. Becoming reacquainted with the Quran. We're supposed to be reading the Quran anyway, but especially during the month of Ramadan. Being reminded of Jannah, being reminded of the hellfire, being reminded of all of these things, about the attributes and the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about what Allah had did for the people of the past and what Allah could do for you, about reading all of these things and becoming reacquainted with all of these things. It increases your iman. That's like the way we treat the month of Ramadan. I'll give you another parable before we close. A cup, a drink, right? You put some juice, whatever drink you like, water, orange juice, something healthy, right? You keep drinking from this cup. Eventually, you're going to drink it all. During the month of Ramadan is when you get a refill. Is it sufficient for you just to show up at the refrigerator or at the counter or wherever it is you get your drink from? No, you have to put in work. You have to pay some money, or you have to, pour it. You have to do something. You just can't sit here, okay, I'm here. Why is the juice, why is the water not magically appearing in the cup? No, you have to put in some work to get the nourishing drink in your cup. Ramadan is when you fill up your cup. And then if you're smart, you measure your sips so you can make it to next Ramadan. Or maybe you're real sharp and you get a few smaller cups and you fast outside of the month of Ramadan. If you understand, if you follow me. But the month of Ramadan is a month of the Quran. And just to summarize what we mentioned the narration, the hadith, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, "Unzilat suhufi Ibrahima fi awwali laylatin min Ramadan wa unzilat Tawratu li sitta madaina min Ramadan wal Injilu لثلاثة عشرة قلت من رمضان وأنزل الله القرآن ل24 قلوت من Ramadan. Rawahu Ahmad. Where the Prophet ﷺ said, it has been narrated on the authority of Wathila Ibn Asqa, who said, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, the pages of Ibrahim were revealed during the first night of Ramadan. The Torah was revealed during the 6th night of Ramadan. The Injil was revealed during the 30th night of Ramadan. And Allah revealed the Quran on the 24th night of Ramadan. And this hadith was related by Ahmed. And as we mentioned, this narration, Abdullah Danfodio mentions this in his Tafsir, Di'a Ta'wil fi Mana Tanzil, and he took it from Al-Baydawi, Tafsir Al-Baydawi, and Ibn Kathir mentions this as well in his Tafsir. So we mentioned that. And then we mentioned several narrations where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that he would recite the Quran to Jibril, Jibril would recite the Quran to him every night during the night of Ramadan, every year. And the last Ramadan of his life, this took place twice. And he told his daughter Fatima Zahra in secret, alayhi salam, he told her in secret that Jibril we recited the Quran to each other twice this year. I don't think I'm going to make it next year. And these narrations, many of them occur in Sahih Bukhari and regarding the merits of the Quran. So we mentioned these things, these narrations, just to show and to highlight that the month of Ramadan is not about food, how much, how little, when you eat. The food or the imsak or the fasting or the doing without is a tool for something else. Don't get caught up on the means. Think about the end. Yes, we want to make sure that we don't break our fast. We want to eat as little as possible, enough to sustain us. Yes, all of these things are important. But if you're doing all of this and neglecting the Quran, what are you doing? This is the month of the Quran. شهر رمضان أنزل فيه القرآن. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. This is the month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. So if you haven't been doing that, this is the 8th, 9th, or whatever, the 8th, the 7th, the 8th of Ramadan for you, and you've been slacking on the Quran, well, alhamdulillah, you're only a quarter of the way into the month, and Allah still gives you life. Reassert yourself with the Quran. Reassert yourself. You don't know Arabic? MashaAllah. Read the English. Okay, the English is not Quran, so read it anyway and start learning Arabic. When should I start learning? Right now. Start learning Arabic. If you drag, you'll be saying the same thing next year. I don't know how to read Quran. No, you don't know how to read Arabic? Learn how to read it now. And read the English. And pray Allah accept it from you. Don't let no one discourage you. If you're 1 mile away from your destination, and you take one step closer, guess what? You're not 1 mile away anymore. You're less than 1 mile. Take that one step, and then take the next step. And anyone that discourages you, oh man, it's too far. We ain't gonna never make it. Leave them alone. Leave them where they're at. They're either real arrogant and they don't want you to get where they're at, or they're haters and they're miserable and they want company, because misery loves company. I don't read Quran fast enough. But the only way you're going to be able to read it is to get up your speed is by reading. Well, I don't know. I know how to read, but I don't understand what I'm reading. So what? Read it anyway. And then go back and read the English. All those things that people say, those are just excuses. And for real, I can give proof after proof, negating and debunking all of those excuses. The not understanding excuse and all that kind of stuff, that stuff is ridiculous. Because the Prophet ﷺ told us that you get a reward just by reciting. Without fahm, without understanding. If you get the understanding, that's even more. That's icing on the cake. That's the trick that the shaitan, he does to us. Our nafs loves extremes. Either, if I can't do it all, I don't want to do nothing at all. No, you do what you can. All of us are in different levels. Some of us are higher than others. Some of us are lower than others. There's always someone above us and there's always someone beneath us. Do what you can do. In the same way you would measure anything else, for your money, if you want to buy something and all that, you need to measure with regards to the Quran. I say this every year. We all got smartphones. You don't even need a watch anymore. Go to the clock app on your smartphone. Set the timer and recite one juz. And whatever that time is, divide that up. Maybe you can read 4 or 5 times a day. Well, allot that amount of minutes to reading the Quran. Maybe it takes you an hour to read a juz. Maybe you can see yourself sitting down 4 different times a day. All right, well, set apart 15 minutes 4 times a day, and you would have read a juz. If you're not even ready to do that for the Book of Allah, what can someone tell you? You can only blame yourself. You can fool yourself by blaming the Muslim Ummah and blaming this and blaming that, but you know that you are the problem. You are the cause of your own problems. And it's gotten so bad that you won't even make use of the month of Ramadan to try to change your condition. When Allah made it extra easy for you, He put this spiritual energy, He put barakah in this month. He made it that much easy for you. And you still won't take advantage of it. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't make us like that. And we pray that if we are like that, Allah changes our condition right now and increases us right now. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reconnect us with His book, His revelation, His Quran during this month. And we never break that connection with it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.